You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. Your love changes everything. There's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing. 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. Oh, there's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything in my body. Oh, something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. You turn my morning into dancing.
Good morning, Rooted Men. Pastor Tom, Firmly Rooted Ministries. It's Monday morning, and it is the Monday of Holy Week. If you're used to those kind of terms, we celebrated Palm Sunday. Also, just want to put out a pitch there for our last week of Jesus's Life Bible study. If you missed it yesterday, during the Bible study, which is recorded in all the places, Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble, you can go back and take a look at the Bible study from yesterday where we did what did Jesus do on the Sabbath day, Saturday. Then during the sermon, we did what did Jesus do on Sunday, tonight, 7 o'clock, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all at 7 p.m. We're going to be going through what Jesus did on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, obviously Good Friday, the crucifixion, and then culminate this whole thing on Easter. Would love to have you on board, love to have you involved, love that you would share those videos on your different social media sites. What a way just simply to scatter some seed, right? We're supposed to be light to the world. We're supposed to scatter seed. That's one way to share, and would hope that you might do that. Some pretty profound responses even already from yesterday's service and Bible study. So hope you get a chance to catch up and join us tonight. And yes, we will live stream, which means we'll be out there on a couple Facebook pages, a few YouTube pages. We'll be out there on X. So we'll pull that all together. But I hope that it's a blessing to you. It's a blessing to me every year as we get it done. But let's get to today's devotion. But before that, let's say hi to a few people. Let's pass by me since you know that I'm on board. By the way, isn't it nice? We're going to have some warmer weather this week. Back to spring. Not bad. Chuck, good morning, men. I'm out there on X. Good morning, Rooted Men. Bert, good morning. Ken, good morning, fellow brothers in arms. Steve Ponoworski, good morning. Eric, good morning. Chris Connolly, good morning. We have got 32 people on board, which is an amazing number given what we were doing just a month ago. Thank you for all of you who might be joining us on the Firmly Rooted Oxford page, as well as our X page. For FR Oxford is our streaming site. All right, let me pull up the text and let's get at it. It's just a few verses, but profound. Remember that this is during the last week of Jesus's life, and there's this recording from Mark that Jesus watched people as they were bringing in their offerings. There were these days of the year where it was required, like the Day of the Atonement, the Passover, it was required that the people of Israel, the families, would come back to Jerusalem and perform works of sacrifice and so forth in response to all that God has blessed them with. And so it was common that people would be bringing their offerings, and it became a bit of a show. You know, people would actually line up and watch as the wealthiest of the wealthiest were bringing money and in big chests and giving it to the temple. That they were bringing in animals. It was like an ooh and an ah. I mean, I don't know how to compare it. It's like you look at the Oscars, isn't it? I haven't seen it in like 2 decades, but the red carpet and people get out of their limousines and it's ooh ah, because they're bringing in all their gifts and wow, look how much that person brought and look how much that person brought. And Jesus is there with his disciples silently watching the process. No explanation of why he's there, no explanation of what he's doing. It's almost like him being at the well and Samaria and that woman coming to the well. But it says in verse 41, Jesus sat down opposite the place where the offerings were put. He's opposite. He's watching from a distance. He's watching the people giving their offerings. He's watching the oohing and the eyeing. He's watching the whole thing. And he watched them put in money into the temple treasury. It says many rich people threw in large amounts. But a poor woman, not just a poor woman, a widow, came and put in 2 very small copper coins. I mean, they're almost worthless. They're only it says worth only a few cents. And now Jesus wants to speak, calling his disciples to him. Like, come here. This is a teachable moment. They has to be wondering, why are we watching this process? Why are we here along with all these other people, watching all these people giving their gifts and look at me and look at me and look how much I'm giving? Jesus doesn't say anything until this one poor widow drops in these copper coins. And he says to his disciples, truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. They all gave out of their wealth, out of their extra. But she, out of her poverty, put in everything, all she had to live on. He's not talking about money. He's talking about the attitude of the heart. We just talked about how on Saturday, Mary breaks open a alabaster jar of perfume worth a year's wages. Imagine your year's wages. Breaks it open and pours it on Jesus in one moment, weeping, wiping his feet with her hair, just extravagantly pouring out gratitude, all that she has. Not just extra, not just a few minutes that I can give you, not really the pomp and circumstance, which I want the attention I'm getting. It's even not about you, God, it's about me. Everybody's oohing and eyeing, but the only time Jesus oohs and ahs is when he wants his disciples to know that there was a woman who gave everything she had. I guess what I want to tell you that before she put the 2 copper coins in, she already had a heart where she has to rely on God every single day for daily bread. She gives everything. Every day she wakes up, she's grateful for what God has done for her. Every single day, her heart's beating and her eyes are open. She's grateful to God because somehow he takes care of this widow, maybe even when no one else will. And she is dropping 2 copper coins that are worth nothing just to tell him she loves him. So as we enter into this last week of Jesus' life, maybe there's a good point where we might want to reflect on who we are. And what is our response? Are we ready to give him everything? Everything. Our families, our relationships, our homes, our lives, everything. Sold out to the one who gave it up for us, who left a throne and came onto this world and bore our sins and their punishment, bore our infirmities and our sufferings and our pain, took it upon himself so that we would not have to. Are we still so close-fisted that we kind of like Scrooge, pull the money right out of our little bag and drop it in reluctantly, or are we open-handed, dropping it all, dropping everything? God, it's all. Whatever I do, I'm doing it for you. However I use it, I'm thanking you. It's all a response to what you've done for me. So hear me. It's not about the amount. It's about the heart of the individual that gave. The rich were giving out of their extra. They sure weren't going to get hurt. They weren't given anything that might actually cause them to sacrifice. But she's learned that her whole life is a sacrifice, that her whole life is a gift from God, that she doesn't even have the ability to care for herself, that she has to rely on God just like the birds of the field, birds of the air. Huh. And she gives whatever she has. All right. I hope you find a challenge there. I hope you find yeah, I hope we all find a challenge there. This is not Pastor Tom telling you that you should give more money to Firmly Rooted. It is not Tom Donnelly telling you anything, but he wants all of you. Men, he wants all of you. And you should realize that that is all to your favor and all to your benefit, because he knows you and he knows the future. He wants what's best for us. He's for us and not against us. So how about today and this week, we let go of the control of all the things we think we need to be in control of and hand that back over to Jesus and just live sold out for what he has done to us. That's it. All right. That's what I have for you. Once again, want to encourage you to be a part of the study tonight. 7:00. We are going to live stream. So if you can't be here at the Legacy Center, that's fine. We're going to live stream. Make sure that you share. Let's cast some seed. Who can you tell that we're doing these things? And we'll leave it at that. So a couple people jumped on board here at the end. I think I said hi to Eric, but maybe not. Steve Ponoworski, good morning. Chris, good morning. Isaac, good morning, brothers. Brian Vlaming, good morning. All right, everybody. I'll be back at about 8:30. Blessings on your day. Make it a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.